Hey guys, I'm gonna knock out a quick video for you tonight. It's been a minute since I've done any lately, so I decided I was gonna go ahead and do one. I was drilling up a couple new beta wings and figured I would do a video showing how I mount it to our car and show how to drill the holes across the back and get them so that they're not looking all crazy and they look pretty straight. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started and show you a few tips on how to make it look nice and neat on the car. So this is the wing that most everybody's kind of transitioning to, all brands. All manufacturers out there kind of transition to this wing, and I've been running it now for a couple months and definitely prefer it over the other style wings that I've tried out there. So let's go and get started and show you how to mount it. So first we'll get the holes drilled that mount to the car. So first thing we do is, I'll just tell you how I do it, but so you know. So the wing mount, the center of, let's see, I got a car with no wing right here. So the center of the holes where the wing mounts to the car is 40 millimeters diameter. So you know that you need your two holes 40 millimeters apart. So you just set your dial caliber at 40 millimeters and you measure using the little graph where that 40 millimeters is going to be. So on this wing you're going to go to the first line right there, not the center, but the first line over. You'll count 7 over, and then you'll go just to the inside of the 7th one on each side. Okay? And where I put the hole is actually on the back side of this graph. So I don't go into the graph, I go behind it to move the wing forward. So what I'll do is take a really small drill bit, doesn't really matter the size, just something that can go and not slide around on there, and something that's going to drill through really easy and quick. Okay, and then like I said, I will count over 7 lines and then go just to the inside of that, and then I'll just run my drill bit up till it's touching that back line, but it's on this back side of that line. So I just run it down till it's touching and drill right there. Okay, and then it'll give you a little hole like that. You're going to do the same thing to the other side. Alright, so now you have 2 holes symmetric from each other, perfectly across. So then what I use is an actual body reamer that I just took out of the handle, and I'll chuck that up into the drill. Okay, and then I'm just going to use that and stick it in that hole, and I'm going to go, not all body reamers are labeled, but this one is, so your hole size you're wanting for these is 8 millimeters. So I'm just going to go till I get to the 8. And make sure you hold it straight. Once you get a little in there, then switch over to the other side. Alright, so it should look like that when you're done. If you just want to grab your little wing spacer, you can test the fit. That one's still a little bit too snug, so we'll just go a little bit more. Till it's just right. You want it to be tight fitting, ideally. Just like that, it actually snapped into place. That should be perfect. I'll do the same thing to the other side. Alright, so those holes are drilled. Now to get the back holes, what we're going to do is you're going to set your dial caliber to 11 millimeters. Okay, so go 11 millimeters. 11 millimeters. You're going to take the back side of the wing, set the dial caliber on the top edge, and then put pressure onto the bottom edge, and then just drag it right across and score. Put a score into the Lexan. It scratches relatively easy, so it's not super challenging. So just drag it across there. And then it'll give you a nice, I don't see if that shows up or not. You can see, nice straight score across there. Okay. Now then, to mark the center of each pocket where you want the hole to be, I go 4.5 millimeters on each one of these, and then 4.5 on these, and then these ones I actually do 10 millimeters. So I'm going to show you how to do those. So the 4.5 millimeters goes never mind. I'm all jacked up. I could have swore it was 4.5 millimeters, but I guess I was making up the wrong number. Oh, it was 14. Yeah. 14.5. So I had the 4.5 right, I just forgot the 1. So 14.5. So 14.5. So you're going to stick in this little groove that's the center. It's the center between these. So you're going to stick this into that little center pocket, and then you're going to score that one right there. Okay, and then it'll give you a little center line spot to drill. And you're going to do the same thing on this one. Okay, and then you're going to come over to the other side of the wing, do the same thing. Okay, and then for the center section in my notes, I have 10 millimeters as the number for that one. So I set it at 10, which completely looks wrong again. I don't know what I was smoking in my notes. Oh, jeez. Bet it's 20. Yeah, it's 20. Whew, late night videos. All right, so 20 millimeters. You do the same exact thing. Put that in the thing, and then put your little score there. There you go. So you should now have a mark for every single one you want to drill. Okay, so now you go back to the little drill bit in the drill. But for this one, it's a little more tricky, so we're actually going to put our body reamer back in, and we are just going to use the tip and use right where the two lines meet there. You're just going to put right in the center, you're going to put a little indentation for the drill bit so that it don't slip. Alright, so then you got all your little indentions. Now we'll just take that little drill bit and go through all of those holes. Alright, so you should have 6 perfectly symmetrical holes across there now. So now we're going to ream them out to the correct size. Size can change the way the wing performs pretty drastically. So the size of these holes, the smaller they are, obviously the less air is going to be able to travel through, and the more downforce the wing is going to have. The downside, it would be your car will fly nose high a lot, and you're not going to have as much air control when it comes to whipping the car and straightening the car back out in the air, redirecting it, whatever. So the bigger holes you run, the better your car is going to fly through the air, the more control of it you'll have, and you'll have a little bit less downforce. But this wing makes so much downforce that honestly, if you don't put big enough holes in it, your car just will push like a dump truck. So the hole size that I use for mine is 10 millimeters. So what I do is I put electrical tape around the reamer at the 10 millimeter line, so I know exactly when to stop. So just stick it in there, make sure you're nice and straight, and then just simply stop when it gets to the electrical tape. Pretty simple. And then I'll go to the other side, do the same. And I'll do that right there for all the holes. All right, and there you go. That is a completed wing. The holes should come out pretty straight and symmetrical with this method, and that should just go right on. The only thing is be very careful when you're marking those holes and you're using a small drill bit that you get them right on your marks. If you get off just a tiny bit, that's when your wing will either be not straight or your holes will be kind of lopsided. But if you get your marks right on, it should come out pretty good and straight. So there you go. Hopefully this video can help somebody out. I know I've had a few questions on it, where to mount it, and so hopefully that answers a few questions. Where I try to always mount my wings is to where it covers the rear shock body. The wing will set right where the shock standoff and the shock bushings start, is where I always try to mount my wing. You want to try to mount it as far forward as you can, because if your wing's too far back, then you'll create that pendulum effect where if the more the car sways, the more it just keeps swaying. You'll get that tail slap kind of thing going on. So you want the rear wing to be over as far up as you can get it over the rear wheels. Alright, so thanks for watching, and you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and we'll see you in the next one.